Growing up, I was never the type of kid to own a pet that required high maintenance. Basically, I always owned fish because they required minimal attention and they were easy to take care of, which is just what I liked. But for my 19th birthday, I was actually gifted a pug by my boyfriend, and I named this sweet girl Penny the pug, and we instantly became best friends. I always took her places like the river. I also took her rock crawling in my boyfriend's Jeep numerous times, and I would also take her for her favorite puppuccinos from Starbucks. Eventually, she became so spoiled by all of my family that she'd always get her own order of fries wherever they went. On one random summer day, we noticed that Penny was maturing and she had actually begun her first menstrual cycle. So like the extra dog mom I am, I went out to PetSmart and I bought her the cutest doggy diapers I could find so she could wear them around the house. A couple days went by and that's when things began to change. Penny had a boyfriend and he lived across the street. He was the furriest dog ever and he's so playful, which we loved. We have a pretty secure fence, so we never expected him to make his way into the gate, but he did. A couple nights later, we came home and we actually found him in our yard. At this point, I still hadn't thought about the fact that he could possibly impregnate my dog. Weeks passed, and my family and I noticed the enlargement of Penny's abdomen. Honestly, she had been eating good, so we thought that the mix of her not being active and eating a lot of human food made her gain weight. But we immediately took action and began taking her for regular walks at the dog park, and we also stopped feeding her human food and began to feed her wet dog food to kind of help with the weight loss. It still didn't help. She was getting bigger by the week and started to do very odd things. She would use the bathroom on my mom's kitchen floor mats, which my mom hated, but luckily it was an easy cleanup. She also started napping in my dirty laundry, which is gross, I know, but it's a habit that pregnant dogs pick up on, and honestly a lot of dogs in general. She also began to fight with our other female dogs, which is very rare because they got along in the past, so it was just weird that they were suddenly fighting out of nowhere. Eventually I got curious, so I googled pregnancy symptoms in dogs, and Penny had every single one. But I still wasn't convinced, and I just brushed it off. On one Sunday night in August, I was getting ready to work at my new job the next morning, so I decided to stay home that Sunday night and just skip out on the Sunday night festivities. I'm glad I did because eventually Penny began to act very weird and she started panting a whole lot as if she was out of breath. After worrying for my pup and kneeling by her side and just examining her, I noticed the imprint of a small little puppy paw inside her stomach, and at first my heart melted and then I began to panic. I immediately put up a doggy gate and put a bunch of blankets in a cardboard box just to kind of make her comfortable. I impatiently awaited the arrival of who knew how many pups because at the time I sure didn't. But by 4 in the morning, I just couldn't stay awake anymore and I eventually fell asleep. At 6 a.m., my alarm for work went off. And before I could even turn it off, I heard the whine of a newborn puppy. By 8 a.m., Penny had finished giving birth to 6 puppies, which is astonishing considering the fact that she's an exceptionally small pug, and before she weighed 9 pounds, after labor, she weighs 11 pounds, so she's still pretty small for her age. Unfortunately, the runt of the litter was born without a tail, and he didn't make it through the night. The only puppy we ended up keeping, we named him Turbo, and he actually passed away at 2 months, so we only got to enjoy him for a little bit. But may Turbo and his brother rest in peace.